It's very full.
Good Monday!
We are here on a Monday.
Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you've had a great weekend. If you can just post a comment below and tell us what is the most exciting thing that you did this weekend. We want to hear it. We want to read it. But let's talk about things that are going on in this world right now. So we're living...
What's going on in the world right now?
So...
Something's going on?
So we're living through a very special time, right?
Clear it out. I can hear it.
I know.
Get it.
Hold on.
It's not going to help.
Or maybe it will.
You gotta...
I don't know. Anyways, I might just sound like a 13-year-old boy on this one. But, you know, we're living through a very special time in the sake that, to be honest, everybody's struggling, right? Like, it doesn't matter, like, where in the world you are, what is it that you do on a regular basis. Like, there is an impact to everybody. When we read The Morning Brew this weekend, this morning, we read that, I mean, in the United States alone, there's already 40,000 deaths. That's insane. Of course...
Deaths, not debts.
Sorry, did I not say
if that
right?
was... If you had any confusion over that. Deaths. There's a th instead of a t. One is death.
And then aside from the fact that, you know, a lot of people are also getting in debt because of that.
That's why I clarified.
You know, so there is life pressure. Like, am I going to be alive? Am I going to survive this? There is a health pressure, and then there is also an economic pressure. Okay, and this causes stress, right? And obviously something that we know is that stress on your body is not good whatsoever. Like, stress on your mind fogs you, stress on your body, you know, is directly correlated to weight gain and chronic disease. That's just a fact. Each and every one of us are dealing with at least one form of stress right now, right? Like, if you're an essential worker, or, you know, if you own a business that's actually like operating at this time, then what you're noticing is that you're probably working on it or in it a lot more. If you own a business that's currently like not able to stay open, then that's a financial stress, right? If let's say you've just gotten laid off, you know, that's a stress. Let's say that you are employed and you're able to work from home. You probably have the stress of, I'm not used to, you know, staying on my regular day-to-day, like, whatever. However,
or if you are an essential worker, especially within the hospital community or the wellness service industry, and you have to be present for people taking, like, literally on the front line, taking care of everything that's going on right now, you are stressed because your schedule has gotten crazy. You're working extra hours, you know, you're in contact with people who are questionable, you know, so there's stress, and there's a negative impact on everyone in one way or another. However,
real quick, I want to give a shout out to any of the healthcare providers in the house right now. If you're a healthcare provider, please comment and say, me, we're giving you a massive virtual hug. And the reason why we want to see who it is because we want to give you like a personal, like a huge shout out, because we know that right now you're on the front line when it comes to facing all these things at once. So for one, okay, if you're stressed right now, okay, know that things can always be worse because there's somebody out there who has it worse than you. Okay? So the first thing that you have to do is get into a state of gratitude, because it could be worse off for you. You could have been one of those 40,000 people who've died and you're still here.
Or a family member of one of those people.
Right.
And maybe you are, and our love goes to you. However, gratitude.
So gratitude is step one, because it can always be worse. Okay?
And if you're in a really compromised situation, then of course it's easier said than done to be grateful, right? Like, oh yeah, easy for you to say, or, but we always have something to be grateful for. You can go find the poorest, most, malnourished or compromised community in the entire world, and they can find something to be grateful for. It's just your perception, and it's all relative. But gratitude is something that every single person has the ability to do if you're willing to get into that zone.
Yeah. Now, why do you think right now the world is so stressed?
Mm-hmm. Why do I think?
Yeah.
For all the reasons that we mentioned before.
Right. Things are uncertain, right?
But it's uncertain, and a lot of things are outside of our control.
Right. So this is where we're getting at. Mm-hmm. So right now things are uncertain and there is higher stress because things are outside of your control. A lot of things are outside of your control, right? Like everybody is equally as susceptible to contracting the coronavirus unless you stay at home. But at some point you're going to have to go to the grocery store, right? Right. So we're all equally as likely to be exposed. I mean, I'm sure if you're being an asshole about it, then of course you have a greater chance, but you get what I'm saying. A lot of things are outside of your control, but here's the thing. There's also a lot of things that are in your control. And the only way that you're going to be able to manage your stress level is by focusing on what is it that you can control right now. Yeah. So now here's what's happening to a lot of people, right?
Tammy said we aren't all in the same boat like everyone is saying. We are, but we aren't. The entire world is experiencing the same epidemic, right? That's the boat that we're all in. However, each person has their own special circumstances.
Yes.
But what we're getting at now is, how do we respond?
Yes.
Because that is the one major thing every single person does have control over, is your response. So
now, we all, and this is the thing, coronavirus or not, this is a beautiful lesson. Something that I always say is, vulnerable times are the best test to show your level of discipline to yourself, to your life, to anything, because it really magnifies our problems. Our life's problems, and it gives us a chance to really hone in on what matters. And that's why having an attitude, where for one you're aware, and for two you're not just taking action, but you're taking massive action with regards to what is it that you can control, is the only way that you're going to reduce your stress. So now let's talk about,
and also just understanding and having peace in the fact that you don't have control over everything. And so the question then becomes, what benefit do I have if I'm stressing over what I don't have control over? Because it doesn't make the situation any better. What makes the situation better mentally is when you say, dang, I don't have control over XYZ, so there is no point in stressing about it. When you surrender to that, and when I say accept, because you must be okay with not being in control of things sometimes, and that acceptance, don't accept that, it's because of this that I'm not achieving this. If you don't have control over it, you don't have control over it. How can you respond so that you can achieve what it is that you want? And when you let go of the things you don't have control over, you will decrease your stress level just by mentally making that shift and saying, there's nothing I can do about that. But what can I do in my own life to make this the best scenario possible for me? What does that include? And how can I take action on that? And then you start taking action on those things, you have more peace because you're like, I'm doing my best. Literally, if you can go to bed at night and say, I did my best today. And we know instinctively, like your intuition will tell you if you're doing your best or if you're like shitting the bed. I don't know, like not showing up, right? And so that is what will give you more peace and decrease your stress as of like an immediate just breath of fresh air kind of thing.
Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Corinne. So, let's talk about some of the things that you can control. Okay.
Julie said, love yourself into action. I love that.
I love it. So let's talk about some of the things that we can control, because those should be the only things that you focus on. Everything else is not adding any value to your life. And something that we always say is, if it doesn't add any value, just let it go. Inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit,
Inhale
right?
the good
so
shit,
if
exhale
it's
the
bullshit, just let it go. Like don't live in a state of fear. Like it's not serving you any good. It's not allowing you to take massive action. It freezes you, it paralyzes you, and it gets you into a vicious cycle. Okay? So some of the things that you can control, first and foremost, is the structure of your day. Okay? So now here's the thing. How you spend your time will dictate what your life will look like. Okay? So now, everybody we got 17 people on the line right now. It seems as if, this show is probably a part of your day, which means that you probably get up a little bit beforehand and make sure that you're catching the show live. And thank you for watching us, by the way. But how you spend your day matters, okay? This is the most important thing, because if you're not making this a priority, then everything else that we're about to talk about is just going to go down the shitter, okay? Because time is the only thing that we don't have control of, coronavirus or not, right? And it just keeps moving forward. So all you have is right now, and how you spend your right now, okay, will dictate what you're going to get out of your life 1 month from now, 1 year from now, 10 years from now, okay? So things that you need to, like, for one, if you don't already have a calendar, then you know what? Like, I don't even care if you don't buy a calendar. Like, literally, like, write it on a piece of paper. Like, that should be your number one obligation.
Everybody's phone has a calendar in it.
The reason why you need to have structure is because without structure, there is no expectation. Without expectation, there is no clarity. Without clarity, there is no action. Without action,
there's nothing. Nada.
You're just going down the drain, right?
I truly believe, and I say this not with a light heart, but not taking action or not having a plan or not having structure leads to depression ultimately. There are many other things, and it's a serious thing. But if you don't have purpose, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have structure, if you don't have, if you don't wake up like ready to do something and knowing what you're doing, eventually, if gone in long enough, you will be depressed. Because humans just need purpose. Yeah. So find what that is, and it doesn't have to be grandiose, like, oh, my life's purpose, my life's mission is to whatever. It could be like, today's purpose is, this is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm going to accomplish today.
So if you're not driving, please take some notes. The biggest and most important thing that you're going to need to do, okay, in order to reduce stress, is to create structure. Okay. And the other things that you're going to add to that list of structure of how you'll spend your day is, for one, how are you going to take care of yourself? Now, when we talk about taking care of yourself, we're not just talking about like
doing your workout.
We're talking about like physically, emotionally, and mentally. Okay? How are you going to take care of your body? How are you going to take care of your mind? And how are you going to take care of your spirit? Okay? If you only focus on taking care of your body but not your mind and spirit, your stress levels are going to be high because there's not going to be an alignment between your soul and between your physical manifestation. And therefore, we're going to have stress.
And physical stress is still stress. So when you do a workout, it is physical stress on your body. You don't know inside your machine doesn't differentiate between mental stress, physical stress, emotional stress, psychological stress. It's all just goes into the big stress bucket. Like a big top of the funnel, boom, stress bucket, and then shit gets stuck. Okay, so that doesn't mean don't do a workout if you're stressed, but that means figure out ways to reduce the stress, which is what we're talking about today. Ta-da!
So structure at the top, right? Write that down, okay? Under structure, okay? Ways of taking care of yourself. So this might look differently for everybody, and it doesn't mean that you need to focus on like all of them every single day. However, we do recommend that you do something to help you emotionally, clear whatever discomfort or mentally stay tuned, get challenged, and physically, of course, take care of your being. Otherwise, I mean, we're all, growing older each and every day, right? What you put in is what you get out. Okay.
We are all 3 seconds older than we were 3 seconds ago.
So physically, okay, what are some things you can do, okay, in order to take care of your body physically? So obviously working out is one of them, okay. What are some other ways? Nutrition is another one, right? So now here's the thing that I see happen very often when somebody said, today physically I'm gonna work out. I'm going to eat clean. What does eating clean means?
Yeah,
get
specific.
Define it, right? Usually when you say workout, I can only assume that most of you guys in this room are probably following some kind of workout plan. If you don't, then you need to join the Rise Above 14-Day Bodyweight Program. You don't need any equipment for that, by the way.
Nada.
But get clear on what does eating clean means to you. How many times a day are you going to eat? What foods are you going to involve, right? Here's the thing, you guys, like most people don't even plan what foods they're going to eat. And then they wonder why, they've gained all this weight.
Or how they have a hard time saying no to things like pizza or giving into their cravings or things like that. There's no intention and there's no planning.
Right. There's less focus. The less focused you are, right, the more likely you are to get steered in one way, shape, or form, right? If you're focused, then it's going to be very hard for you to get distracted, right? But if there's no focus, you can go anywhere. Right? Which is a blessing and a curse.
You can go anywhere, which takes you nowhere.
And why modern countries are normally very overweight, because there's options.
Can I say one more thing too about having structure?
Yeah.
A lot of people say, I don't have time. I think the only people right now who legitimately could possibly say I don't have time are the people who are in working in a hospital of variations, right? Like helping fight the virus. However, we always make time for what is the most important to us. So it's not a matter of you don't have time. It's you choose to spend your time doing something else. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It is not my job to choose your priorities. It is not Sarit's job to choose your priorities. It is your job, and your priorities are your priorities. But if you're not happy, I would argue you have the wrong priorities.
Yep. Or you're not even aware of that.
Or you're putting focus on the wrong priorities. Somebody just messaged us the other day and said, I have a hard time working out because I always push it to the end of the day and then I just end up never doing it. I'm like, because you haven't made it a priority. That's okay. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. That just means that if you want to make it a priority, you need to make some shifts. And when you do prioritize and when you do plan and structure, you find you actually have more time than you thought you did. You got to take an inventory of your time.
Yes.
And how it's being spent.
Like a hawk.
So if we're talking about reducing stress, like figuring out what you're actually doing with your time and then structuring it to move you forward in the direction you want to go, will actually find it frees up some of your time because you realize you're spending so much time doing unnecessary bullshit.
Yep.
Now there's always exceptions, however, most of the time that's the case. And you'll be like, wow, I didn't realize, how much time I actually have. If you stay focused on the tasks, which writing them down helps you stay focused, because if they're not written down, like Sarit was saying, you just kind of go everywhere.
Yeah. Difference between a plan and a wish is that a plan is written down. And most likely you don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. Okay, so back to note taking, right? When it comes to, your physical being, exercise,
Can we say
nutrition.
that again? It's been repeating in my head. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for.
Exactly.
Keep that with you.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to emphasize it because it's important.
I wish to lose 5 pounds. What are you going to do for
Did
it?
I lose it? Did I lose it yet?
Right. You got to put in the work. What you put in is what you get out. Okay, so exercise, nutrition, hydration, sleep, right? Like foam rolling, right? Look, maybe, stretching.
All the self-cares.
It doesn't have to be all of them. But if right now you're not doing any, then start with one. If you're doing one, then pick it up and focus on 2. Right? But choose the ones that are most important to you, that will help you to drive the needle forward. Okay? Don't choose whatever you like the most. Choose whatever your body needs the most. I think a big problem with a lot of people who exercise often and are still unhappy with what's happening, it's because they keep on repeating what they like to do rather than focusing more on what is it that they need to do.
I knew it was coming.
I used to be one of those people, I gotta tell you.
We do what we're good at because it makes us feel good.
Yeah.
Right? But
push your ego aside, dude.
But it's the things that we're not good at that we need to do to make us better. You don't get better by doing what you're already good at.
Yeah.
It's good to practice it so you stay good at it.
Yeah.
But that's where that discomfort comes in, right? Like, nothing spectacular happens within your comfort zone.
Yeah. So pick one thing that you need to work on and add that to your daily structure. Make that a commitment. And if you don't add it, that's okay. However, no, it's not a priority and you're probably not going to get what you want. That's just being real.
And can I also say, for anybody watching or listening who is thinking like, but what if I have kids? But what if I'm homeschooling? But what if I have, my job is crazy and I'm taking classes and doing all this stuff? Like,
brain fart?
Yep. Crap.
Should we move to mental?
Let's move. Yeah. Oh, so no, what I was saying is in response to Tina's comment that says, as an activity director in an assisted living community, taking care of myself has been a challenge. You're so used to taking care of everybody else. So for people who are used to taking care of everybody else, moms especially, think about how you show up for the people you need to take care of when you take care of yourself, and how you show up when you don't take care of yourself. Those are 2 different people.
Tina, quick tip. In order for you to make yourself more of a priority, because it seems like you already have a schedule, I recommend that you do something at the beginning of the day to make yourself a priority. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. Things that you do first are more likely aligned with your priorities.
Yep.
Things that you don't, things that you leave for the rest of the day are less of a priority. If you guys go to the gym, like once they open, or if you've been a gym goer, like if you look at the people who work out early in the morning versus in the evening, you'll see that generally the bodies are totally different.
Like the people who consistently come at like a 6 a.m.
or 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that's because it's a part of their routine. It's a priority. People who come at 7 p.m. most likely come to check chicks out and for happy hour.
Or watch TV on the treadmill.
Now, I'm not saying that may not work for you, but that's just a generalization with regards to patterns.
Yeah. There's
okay,
exceptions to
so
that.
now, mindset-wise, what are some things you can do? Look, there has never been a time to learn a new skill, right? To develop yourself, to read, to grow, to learn more.
To never been a time or a better time.
If you're not constantly learning, you're dying. That's 100% true. And we live in a society where the expectation is you go to school, when you graduate college, then you're done learning. No, it doesn't work that way. In order for you to keep on being better, and I mean, aside from the fact that, Alzheimer's is on the rise because of lifestyle choices and because we don't keep on nourishing our brain past the age of 20, for most of us, like our brain is not stimulated. Your brain needs to constantly get stimulated on a daily basis. Okay? So, I recommend, if you are not currently doing something for your brain to exercise it, then start doing something.
Like what?
Like read a book. Maybe read 10 pages.
Even like puzzles like stimulate your brain.
Yeah, or like Sudoku.
Learning,
like it could be in game form. Learn a new language. Maybe like get into something that you haven't done before. If anybody has been laid off, I want to challenge you to get out of the way to search for something that you can learn that can make you money.
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, with the internet era, like everybody has an equal opportunity to make however much money they want. Right? And if you've been laid off, then you've been dependent on somebody else to pay you. But now it's your chance to start never depending on somebody else and start depending on you, which means that you need to take more action and you need to learn more skills.
It's a choice, or you can wait until the industry opens back up and go back to work, right? Like it is choices though. And these are, when we say like focus on what's inside your control, these are the things that are inside your control. You can figure out how to make something work for you. You can wait, you can be sad, you can be positive, you can be hopeful, those are all your choices.
Yep.
But hopefully this helps you to reduce some stress, take some action on at least one thing that we've suggested today, whether it's just kind of like writing out your priorities or planning something or figuring out what your intention is for each day or what your purpose is for each day.
And then spiritually too, like equally as important. Look, if you're always on and there's no off button, then you're going to get burnt out, right? So, like even if it's just 15 minutes a day, like do something that will set your soul on fire. Like if you love knitting, maybe like knit. If you love, doing something, then go for it. Like also in the spirituality realm, like, things like meditation, prayers, like there's never been a better time. Now remember, we all have an equal opportunity because we all have the same amount of time in a day. And it's called 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. Okay? It's up to you to choose how it is that you spend it. And once you focus more on what is it that's within your control, rather than focusing more on what's outside of your control, then you'll show up better, you will feel better, you'll be less stressed, and you'll be happier. And that's that for today.
We have an announcement to make, though.
Oh, yeah, the winners. So,
inside this little piece of paper are the results of the Community Builder Challenge.
Okay.
And we're gonna go. We're
Let's
doing
start
first.
with-
We're doing first and second place only because those are the ones with the prizes. Okay. Second place.
We'll begin with second place.
Okay, who's second place?
Second place! It was her birthday yesterday, so happy belated birthday all the way from Texas, Miss Tammy Jarrett.
Tammy Jarrett!
So Tammy, you're gonna have a
Coaching call.
complimentary coaching call with either Erin or
Booyah.
myself, whichever one you prefer. We're not going to get emotional if, either one of us does not get picked. It's the reality is that I'm sure that all of you guys relate to one of us more than the other. And that's okay. You can be a bigger impact will be made on you based off of the instructions given from the person that you can connect with better.
Sure.
So
congratulations,
Yeah.
Tammy.
reach out to either Erin or myself. Message whoever it is that you want to do the call with. We're not gonna get whiny if you don't pick either one of us. However, we equally love you. Okay.
Okay, first place.
Man, she just went so hard.
Fired
So
away
hard.
daily.
Every single day. You absolutely deserve it. Julia, all the way from, is she from Utah? Julia, are you from Utah?
Forgive me if you told us and I don't remember. And how the heck do you say her last name?
No, she's by Yellowstone, Wyoming.
Let's see. She might be here.
She was here earlier. She's from Wyoming because I remember we talked to her about Yellowstone. Okay, so Julia, you get the immune boost from X Endurance as well as the coaching call. So who, again, like we said it for Tammy, whoever you want to do the coaching call with, please reach out to either one of us. And when you reach out to either Erin or myself, also add your shipping address so that we'll be able to mail you over the immune boost. All right, you guys.
On that note, have an amazing Monday.
Mm-hmm.
I cut you off.
No.
If you are doing, okay, so we are going to have an impromptu workout on the Erin and Sarit page at 9 a.m. today, and it's going to be the Rise Above workout number 2. So you can either join us if you missed it, if you're not already doing the burn zone, because we will still do our burn zone workout at 8 with that group. But we're also, in addition, going to be doing a workout at 9.
So we figured we might as well invite you guys to the party.
Why not? It's going to be on a Zoom. We're leading a class from another group, and so we figured we would invite you guys and go live on our page as well if you wanted to join us for that. So 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is in 2 hours, we will be live on this page doing a workout. So if you need to get your workout in, you want to do it with us and have fun at the same time, join us in 2 hours.
We hope that you guys have a killer week with lower levels of stress. Remember, only focus on what is it that within your control. We will see you tomorrow, 6:30. Bye.